Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Josh and Artemis Show. Tonight, we are doing our personal take on or a review of The War on Children, which was released by Robby and Landon Starbuck. And it was really well made, guys. It's available on Rumble to purchase. I think we put the link in the description. If not, I'll add it. And I'll add it on X after the show as well. But yeah, I mean, we really liked it. I mean, sinister, but we really enjoyed like the quality of it and the way it explained things, especially some of the information we've already talked about on the show, but I think especially somebody not involved in the topic as much as we are, it's a lot of really great information.
Yeah, I mean, you watched it straight after the show last night with Dr. Heim. If you haven't seen that, guys, go check out the show with Dr. Heim. A very good interview, a very good discussion with him. And he's doing some great work. And of course, brave for coming forward and exposing what's happened at Texas Children. So go check that out. Before we get into the review today, as usual, guys, if you're brand new to our channel and you like the stuff we talk about, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell to let yourselves know when we go live, which is every night at 8 p.m. Eastern, a little bit later tonight, because as you can see, Artemis has new colour hair today.
Yeah, guys, it looks almost black. It's not.
Looks good.
I'm still getting used to it. It's going to get lighter as I wash it.
I think it looks great. Looks great.
I'm feeling very self-conscious, but it's okay. It's fine. It is what it is. But yeah, if you do want to support the show, you can become a YouTube or Patreon member. The links are in the description and, of course, in a bio of our homepage. We do want to thank our YouTube and Patreon members and people who do donate on buymeacoffee.com. Your support means a lot to us. As Josh said, we do go live every day at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we research a lot to bring you, the best information, the breaking news, discuss the madness around the world as best as we can. So hopefully you guys appreciate that. And support the show.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, we've got a couple of people in the chat as well, all around Arbiter. Nice to see you, mate. Nice to see you.
Good to see you, Tzipora.
And Tzipora. Good to see you.
Don't wash it too soon. I'm already itching to wash it. It's not like that temporary. Like it does take, like a month or two to come out. Like I got it professionally done, but I don't know. It just looks really dark. But anyway, it's fine.
It looks fine. Great. I mean, it looks darker on camera than it does in real life.
It does. That's why it's making me self-conscious. Is like I just feel like it looks like black on camera.
Yeah, but you've got the studio lighting
I know.
Here. It makes things look darker and lighter than they actually are. So you've got to remember.
Yeah, and I kept like some of the light, but I don't know. I'm still getting. I literally just got home, so I'm still getting used to it. Yeah. I was very blonde before, so anyway, it's a big change. But yeah, hi Cloudy.
It's like I've got a brand new fiance here. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, I told you. It's like you get to date like two different people. My blonde self and my dark self.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Appreciate that, Sephora. Right, let's get into this. Let's stop talking about hair and let's start talking about the War on Children, which we watched last night, guys, as we said, and that's the title of the show. So, like you were saying at the start there, I think this is great in regards to the fact that if you aren't really familiar with this discussion, which I'm sure a lot of people are these days, and especially parents who are definitely aware of this, it gives a good overview of the history, the players involved, and just how far these tentacles reach into things like the education system, governments, businesses, workplaces, and social media. And like we've said on this show, a few times, that this is an ideology which has taken over, pretty much all of Western society. We've talked about this to death on this show. I mean, it feels like we talk about this until we're blue in the face at times. But, we really appreciate, more information which comes out. And Robby and Landon Starbuck did a great job with this movie. Oh, and speaking of the devil, speak of the devil, here is Robby himself. Just while you're in the chat, thanks so much for making the movie. To you and your wife as well. We really appreciate what you guys have done in exposing this and raising more awareness, especially for parents. You know, we're parents ourselves. We have 2 young girls. So we really appreciate what you guys have done, and we thought the movie was great. We'll obviously go into more detail in the show, but we just wanted to say thanks so much for
sure. I mean,
making the movie.
It's very obvious that it took a lot of time and effort. So, you know, we do really appreciate it. We talk about this on our show often, like what's going on. As we said, we had a doctor who was a whistleblower at Texas Children's. And I mean, it is very sinister. And so we do appreciate that you guys put all that information together for anyone to view. And guys, as we said, you know, click the link and purchase this documentary to watch. Like, it is very worth watching, especially if you're not as deep as we are into it. Like, it's very eye-opening. It is obviously sinister, but it's vital information to know what's going on in your backyard, basically. But yeah, thank you so much, Robby and Landon. And we like how you guys are a duo, because as are we. So we thought that was pretty cool as well.
Yeah, we did really appreciate you guys. We thought, oh, this is basically us, but
but on a much bigger scale,
like a really successful version of us. So yeah, we really appreciate that. And you know, we'd love to speak to you at some point. So yeah. You know, let's stay in touch for sure. But anyway, let's get into this. So what we'll do first, guys, if you aren't aware of this movie, I'm sure most of you are, but we'll bring up our screen. And they actually posted a trailer a couple of days ago now, which got shared all over X, of course, from people like, you know, Elon Musk himself. So let's bring up the trailer, and we'll play the trailer, and then we'll discuss the movie a little bit. Yeah,
really glad that Elon was sharing that as well.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's important. Well, he probably felt like, you know, very in touch with it as a dad as well.
Yeah, I can remember when What Is a Woman came out a few years ago now, and he was really promoting that one too.
Yeah, you know, he was, and he got a lot of stick for it. But
and at the time,
I'm very glad.
And at the time, I can remember What Is a Woman was the biggest movie in the world in terms of views. I think it got over 180 million views at the time, which was the biggest movie in the world. I think it was the most watched movie of that year. So hopefully this one does the same to bring more awareness to this, for sure.
For sure.
But anyway, let's play this trailer for you guys. Apologies for talking so much as well.
Yeah.
Are they intentionally sexualizing our children and stealing their innocence?
I think that's right.
TikTok specifically is designed to target young people. That's who their audience is.
Have children died because of social media?
Absolutely.
Have they been trafficked off of social media?
100%.
Have they been sexually exploited off of social media?
Ongoing, yes.
I'm scrolling on TikTok. I see little kids with TikTok. What are they looking at?
This is what you don't want kids to see. Is that correct?
Exactly.
And again, this is depicting children. This is supposed to be kids.
Well, honestly, I didn't even know that transition from female to male was an option until I was on social media and began being exposed to those type of communities.
You've never seen a 18-month-old masturbating?
No, I haven't. Have you seen any sexually explicit drag shows marketed as all ages for kids that you would denounce or think that are a problem and that you want to distance yourself from?
No.
You know this is wrong.
So, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to end the interview.
They use the word sexualize kids at a young age, or, you know, I mean, feeling of it, right?
It just seems like there's no moral, construct at all.
Are kids facing just the absolute worst onslaught of grooming that we've ever seen?
Yes, the entertainment industry is sexualizing children for an agenda.
Your daughter was secretly transitioned at school.
This policy has to do with children as young as 5 all the way through high school.
Penthouse footed the bill to lobby before state boards of education. Yes, Penthouse and Playboy. The history behind this is far darker than most Americans understand.
You think the big tech companies at this point are essentially aiding and abetting human traffickers and people who are working to exploit children?
Absolutely.
If you don't want to hear it in a school board meeting, why should children be able to check it out of the school system?
There is misinformation presented that somehow that we're doing surgery on minors or even children, and that simply is not true.
How old were you when they gave you a double mastectomy?
It was a month after my 13th birthday.
Ultimately, we're going to talk about, are they going to give, the counselor's going to give them medication there at school without their parents' permission? I mean, I think we're leading towards an absurd and horrific time.
Well, first of all, we weren't forewarned we would be sharing a locker room. We had no idea. I turned around, a 6'4", 22-year-old man, fully intact with an exposing male genitalia.
This ideology is killing our kid.
Do you think more people need to speak up to protect kids like your daughter?
Yes, I do.
Well, I think from heaven she can see how hard you fought for her.
Do you feel like this is a war on children?
I know it's a war on children, but like they said, we're coming for your kids.
Yeah.
And they have.
No. Can I ask the cameras to get turned off for just a second? I just want to have a real conversation.
So there you go, guys. That's the trailer. Gives you a good overview. So like we were saying, and as you can see in the trailer, they've done a great job in, you know, highlighting every kind of angle with this discussion. Because as we've explained before, as we've discussed on this show many times, as you know, this topic reaches into so many different industries and so many different institutions, and it's become its own monster in some ways. And it's very interesting. It's very interesting, but also very disturbing. And I think the title of the movie, The War on Children, is pretty much the perfect title because
It really is.
Because this is
Yeah.
a war on our children.
Yeah.
And what they're doing, what this ideology has done, what these people involved in promoting this ideology are doing is literally a crime.
Mhm.
It really is. It's child abuse, it's a crime, and it's destroying the very fabric of our society, which Robby and Landon do a great job of highlighting.
Mhm.
For sure. I mean, what's
Yeah.
your like thoughts on the movie?
I mean, it's disturbing, but I mean, it's like for us, it's like a lot of different things that we've already kind of seen, but to put it all together, and also some things we didn't know, like about like Hugh Hefner's involvement with Kinsey, and you know, I think just kind of the way, like with Pornhub, and just, well, first of all, with Pornhub, I guess they have like a sex ed on Pornhub, which is,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that's almost encouraging underage people to watch that, because if you're an adult, do you really need sex ed? Because you've already kind of been there, done that. Like, so, you know, when you think of sex ed, you think of like kids going through puberty, just learning a little bit more about their bodies, not so explicitly as like they're portraying it in schools now, like, you know, how to give blowjobs or anal sex and like using lube. Like, I mean, the things that they're mentioning in schools now is like, it's insane. It's almost like an education to like be a porn star. Like, I don't know. I think you need to know the basics, and then, you know, as you get older into adulthood, you could like learn a bit more in depth about those things. But like, you know, I think it's very disturbing to like hear that. And obviously, you know, that you don't, like, if you go onto a porn website, it's for adults, but all you have to do is click that you're 18 and you're in. Like, you don't, it's not like you're verified. So of course we know that people under 18 probably venture on it, whether it's just for joke or whatever the reason. So to have like all of those things propped up, you know, we've already said before that like trans people get propped up in porn as well. So it's like you're indoctrinating these people from all avenues. Like, you've got social media, mainstream media, you've got it in schools. If you know you're at a school, like you're looking at it on porn, like you're looking at it in every venue, and it is very creepy. And then of course you have like the drag shows with like children involved. But I mean, even I said this yesterday, like I think that's a bit more onus on parents. Like if you see that's going on and you're with your child and like, why would you let them watch that anyway? Like I'd be like, I'd be so far gone, you wouldn't even know I was ever there. Like it's like a trail would be like left of me. Like I wouldn't put my kids into that situation. So I do think, even though it is inappropriate, it is up to parents as well to like take themselves out of that situation and take your kids out of that situation. If you're just there with your friends and you like it, then fine. But you shouldn't be encouraging your children to watch this stuff. Like that's also just like really creepy to me, because like I don't get where those parents are coming from when they're doing that.
I mean, do you think it's a case that the parents are doing it because I think what's happened with a lot of parents is they've been corrupted too, because they've been corrupted by this ideology through social media, like just like kids have. And of course there are some adults who are also susceptible to this. And what they also did, which was great in the movie, which we've talked about before on the show a few times, is that this whole transgender gender conversation is very much a new religion too. And we've drawn this comparison before, but the popularity of traditional religions in Western society is gone off a cliff over the last few decades, especially the last 10 years or so. The amount of people who practice these kind of religions, the religions we're all kind of used to in the Western nations, these religions aren't as popular as they were. And I think the transgender movement, the gender movement, is very much replacing some of these religions in some ways, because it is an ideology at the end of the day, and it does fall into this religious group too. And I do really think it's great how they highlighted that, because not many people are talking about that side of it. But, so I think it's important to highlight, and it's a great comparison with which they've drawn with that. So hats off to them for doing that too. You mentioned about Pornhub there. That was very disturbing.
Yeah.
They did a whole section on Pornhub and, what they actually do. I mean, you just said it there, but Pornhub literally have a sex education program. Pornhub, the biggest porn site in the world, have their own sex education program, which is aimed at like teenagers / kids effectively.
Yeah.
So you can see what the age demographic they're trying to aim for with these websites, which is just so creepy that,
they deny it, but
yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, we posted a clip the other day from an undercover investigation. What happened, I think it was a few weeks ago now, of this secret sting which these people did on Pornhub, and it was like a secret recording. And these Pornhub executives, they revealed that they purposely target children as young as 12. And they purposely, promote transgender content, I guess you could say, to try to convert users into being attracted to transgender people. So it's a very why are they doing that? We've said this so many times, but this is a minority group in relation to the global population. It's a small fraction of the world, right? But what we're seeing is it being propped up in so many different industries. I mean, it's got its own flag. It might as well be its own country, for God's sake,
Put them all on an island.
Yeah, it might as well be its own bloody nation at this point, and there's nothing you can do to call it out. There's nothing you can do to question it, because if you do, you're a Nazi bigot.
Yeah, you get named all kinds of things just for wanting to protect children.
But of course, we're not scared at all in calling this out, because we know for a fact that this is just bollocks. simple as that, guys. You know, we've said this so many times, but you know, if you want to be transgender and if you want to walk around and dress how you want, and if you're an adult and you want to get surgeries, fine. But do not push this onto kids who don't know any better.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that for us. And we will call it out all day long, all night long until it stops. And we'll keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll keep doing it.
100%.
The other thing what I thought was interesting, which you kind of touched on, was the connections with Hugh Hefner and Alfred Kinsey, which was quite disturbing and something that I didn't really know about. You know, we do a lot of research on this, but we didn't know about this. You know, the connections between Playboy, Penthouse, and this movement, and how this all kind of started, and the foundations of those two publications, and also the connection with the sex education industry with American schools when all this was first founded. So that was interesting for me, how it all ties into, it's all tied into the sex industry at the end of the day. You know, you've got the school system and you've got the sex, you've got the porn industry effectively tied together within this movement. And, if you don't know anything about Alfred Kinsey, we've mentioned him a few times on this show, but they go into a bit more detail. He was effectively a pedophile, and he was experimenting on kids. He was. I don't even know if I can say it on the stream because some of the stuff he did to kids was, he should have been killed.
Yeah, I was gonna say he should have been like, where's the death penalty for these people?
Yeah, because what he was doing to children was just evil, and they highlight this in this movie as well. And it's very, this movement, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. That's what they want you to believe, that it's all about the rainbow flag and it's all about inclusivity and diversity and all this stuff. But this is a very dark and sinister movement. It's very dark and it's very sinister, and it's damaging all of society. It really is. And this isn't to say that all trans people, that trans people are bad, because of course they're not. Of course they're not. But
yeah, you can't generalize everybody.
No,
but
of course they're not.
We are highlighting some of the sinister behavior going on within that.
And but like with anything, there's good and bad parts to it. And unfortunately, there are some very bad and quite frankly evil parts to this, which is affecting young people's lives and affecting children. And in the movie, they also had a detransitioner on the movie, and she went into her story and how she was manipulated by doctors and the medical industry. And I think what she did explain really well, I can't remember her name now, the young lady who was on the movie. But she made a great point about how these doctors and the medical industry, they sanitize the language to make things seem more palpable when you're a young person, but you're, because it's all about informed consent and things like this. And what these doctors do is sanitize the language. So instead of saying a double mastectomy, I think it's called, when you get both,
they say like top surgery.
Yeah, they sanitize it to having top surgery or bottom surgery, to keep it simple for these people. But when you actually look at what these surgeries do, and I'm sure you guys know because we've seen all the pictures on social media of what these surgeries actually do to young people, it's horrific.
Yeah,
it's absolutely horrific. And these people are permanently tied to the medical industry for life.
Yeah, it's not an easy road for them. I mean, even Dr. Heim said yesterday, even going to the washroom, like going pee, that's going to be like your worst nightmare every single time you have to go. Like, they're not informing people just how much these changes will impact your life for the rest of your life.
Mhm.
You know, and they're not reversible. Like, these are changes that no child should make, and no parent or any adult should make for the children either. Because if you think about it, what makes you say that they don't need to have children? If, like, you're taking the choice away from children, you need to just put a firm stance that no child should be able to decide this, and that when they're adults they can make those decisions for themselves. But until then, nothing. Like, I'm sorry, you'll have to go through puberty, and guess what? If you go through puberty, the majority of children will actually outgrow this. And you know, we do need to go through puberty to make us stronger and more sure of who we are. You know, there's so many consequences to not, like, to blocking your puberty process. Not only, you know, the biological, like, you know, growing boobs or like going through that part of puberty, but it impacts like your bone structure. It impacts like your brain development, and you'll have a lower IQ. And you know, of course, it's gonna affect like your mental health state. Like, there's a lot of other issues and components that go into blocking like your puberty process.
Mhm.
And also, the biggest one is that you'll likely grow out of it, and you'll realize that, you know, those feelings that you were feeling were because of all those changes. Like, your hormones are raging, and like, you are going through those changes, and you're very aware of that. But that's uncomfortable, and that's also okay. Like, we can't cushion children so hard that they don't, like, they're not like equipped to make, or like to live outside their little bubble. You know, you want to help your children grow into very strong adults who, you know, take risks and like go on adventures, and, you know, follow their dreams and like their passions, and to work hard, and to just like be motivated to do well in life, whatever they want to do. But, you know, and you can support them, but you need to also let them go through those uncomfortable times, because that shapes their character and their personality, and how they handle stress, and you know, how they handle going through those ups and downs in life. Because as everybody knows, life isn't just like one straight line. It's full of bumps and curves, and
Life
you
is a
know,
roller
crashes.
coaster.
Like, life is a roller coaster.
In the words of Ronan Keating, I'm not
Yeah.
sure if you know who he is. He was in I think it was Boyzone. Was it Boyzone? Life is a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Ronan
good
Keating.
song.
Ronan Keating.
Also, like, it's true though. It is true. Like, I mean, it's like cheesy to say, whatnot, but at the same time, it's still true at the end of the day. Like, you just have to ride it out. You have to learn from that. You have to get like stronger and mentally stronger, and you're gonna get through it, because guess what? Everybody else has. Like,
Yeah,
it's
but these days it's different. We're the way kids are treated, and that's another great point. Actually, what they did in the movie, they highlighted this, how people, especially young people, have lost their sense of achievement, and they've lost their sense of working for something, which we've also said on the show before.
Mhm.
And we try and instill this in the girls here, that it's important to want to achieve something, and important to work hard at something. And I think what's lost in a lot of young people now, and not on purpose, of course, because we've made this statement a few times, that they're not victims of being born in the wrong body. They're victims of being born in the wrong society. These young people now, they're coming into this insane world where they don't know what's true. They don't know what to believe. They're so easily influenced. And it's not like back in the day when we were all young, that you could just switch off from all this. So social media, it wasn't a thing when we were kids.
Yeah, it had a very minimal impact.
Yeah,
and we weren't tied to phones.
Yeah.
Like, so even if you had like MySpace or MSN, first of all, that was only talking to like generally like just your friends from school, but also it wasn't something you had tied to you all day. You got to like use the computer for a little bit after school, and then you'd probably go off and do something else. Like, I'd either call my friends or meet up with them if I was allowed to, like, or just go do something else, like read or hang out with my sister if she wanted to actually be around me. I was the younger, annoying sister, so really not often.
Not often,
but
yeah.
it was more like, oh my God, go do something else.
Yeah.
But anyway, so, you know, like, it wasn't, I don't know, you're just not, you weren't as tied. Like, you're almost like tethered to your phone now. And like, especially teenagers. And I mean, of course, people will say who can blame them, like, you know, but at the same time, like, that is having such a negative impact on their mental health and like just social media in general. And like, just having so much access to everything around the world, and like with TikTok and Instagram, and you know, it's just, it's not healthy for them. And especially as their brains are developing and they are going through puberty and changing, like, it's not the time to start comparing yourself to like plastic people online. Like, that's the worst thing that you can look at, because that stuff's not real. It's edited, it's fake. Like, people have plastic surgeries and all this stuff, like, and you're in the middle of going through changes and maybe uncomfortable with your own body, that you're looking at people who look like absolutely perfect when they're really not, if you saw them in person. But you're looking at that thinking, well, I don't look like that, or like, you know, like, you're just in that comparison game. And you know, that can have a really, really negative effect on youth.
Yeah, for sure. And but they actually had some young teenage people on the show. I mean, I'm not sure what kind of teenage years they were, but they were definitely teenagers.
Yeah,
and
I'd say like between 16 and 20.
Yeah, and they were asking them, you know, would you allow your kids onto social media? And these are the people who have been damaged and affected by this ideology. And of course they were all saying no, you know, but they wouldn't, allow their children to be on social media. And I think that's the right thing to do. You know, we shouldn't be subjecting young kids to social media. Like, I've walked around the shops, I've walked around places, and it's crazy amount of kids who have phones.
I know.
Like, it's absolutely crazy. And I can remember when I was teaching in China, like I was teaching there for like 4 years. I was there for 4 years a few years ago. And even when I was teaching there, you know, and some of the kids I was teaching were like 7, 8, 9 years old. They all had phones. They were on social media during class. Of course, not Facebook or Twitter and stuff, because that was all banned there. But
like
they
the
had
Chinese version.
They had the Chinese version, which was called Weibo. And, they would all be on that in class, you know.
Yeah.
And these were like 8, 9, 10-year-old kids. And it's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's just crazy how this is just allowed to happen. And kids are just allowed to be subjected to social media. I mean, I think what's going to happen, you know, I've already seen rumblings of this in the news and other places, that there might be some sort of a verification thing being brought in with social media. I think it needs to happen.
Yeah, I do too.
I honestly do. Because we need to get a handle on this, because social media has, you know, it's driven society way off the path.
I agree.
Way off the path. And we're losing track of our values, and we're losing track of who we are as people. You know, we're so consumed by social media that we need to have a hardline approach of this, in my opinion. And of course it can be a good tool. We understand that too. You know, we're actually on it now. I mean, we're talking to you guys through social media.
You know,
we
like
have a business through social media. Yeah, but you know, but it has to be.
But we're in our 30s and
Yeah.
kind of have a better understanding of things. And,
Yeah.
you know, we're more equipped to make decisions like when we need a break, rather than kids who don't know when they need a break. They probably use it even more when they're feeling anxious, not realizing that actually makes them worse than better.
Yeah.
Like than taking a break and things like that.
Let's say some hellos in the chat. Actually.
Yeah, we got Sephora asking, was the relationship I think between Kinsey Hefner and the film? It was,
yeah.
They actually, I think in the film they said that they met in college or university.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting.
And
so very long-term friends.
Yeah, and they made a point. I can't remember the guy's name now, but the guy who is the CEO of the White Rose.
Oh yeah, he actually started following us on X.
Something Gruber.
Yeah,
I want to say.
Gruber.
Apologies if I've butchered your name here and you're in the chat.
Seth Gruber.
Seth Gruber.
Yeah.
That's it. Seth Gruber.
Yeah.
He was great in the movie, and you know he talks about the Hugh Hefner Kinsey relationship, and he actually said that you know because the Playboy bunny, you know the logo of Playboy, how it's got a little bow tie there, you know he said that was inspired by Alfred
Kinsey.
Yeah, who actually used to wear all these.
That
bow
was like
ties all
his
the time.
signature thing was
Yeah.
to wear bow ties. So
Yeah.
that was really weird and interesting.
Yeah, and he was saying the inspiration behind the bunny logo was because bunnies like to hump a lot, of course. So
which that part's not really surprising.
Yeah.
You do like that expression, oh, they're humping like bunnies.
Mm.
So I have heard that before
Yeah.
actually. So like just I don't know why or
Yeah.
what context, but
yeah, so they do go into detail about their relationship and the history, especially with Alfred Kinsey, which you know we've talked about him briefly on the show before, but what he was doing to children was just disturbing as hell.
Disgusting.
Disturbing as
Yeah.
hell. Good to see you, Nat.
Good to see you,
Good to see
Nat.
you. If any parents are watching and don't do TikTok, I strongly suggest this experiment. Make an account, like one video about trans, watch what the algorithm feeds you. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, for sure. We did delete our TikTok, but because we just first of all, we never used it really. If we posted anything, I always used to say I post and ghost. So I'd post a video and then just kind of leave.
Yeah.
So there wasn't really much value to it. And then when we started posting stuff about Nicholas Sepeda, who we've done a few shows on, like the 50-year-old man identifying as a 13-year-old girl swimming with children and changing with children with his male genitalia intact. I was posting a couple of clips and those got banned, and then we got like a strike, and then they reversed it, but it was totally shadow banned, like no views on those videos. So I just thought, you know what, forget it. It's kind of a lost cause because obviously this platform does nothing but promote trans ideology, and you know you've got like Jeffrey Marsh on there and Dylan Mulvaney and probably many others. I don't keep track of them all, but those are two big ones that I know. So you know they've got millions and their views don't get suppressed, and it's probably because you know they identify as trans and make a lot of videos about it. So I just figured, you know, it's a lost cause, so we got rid of it. Don't miss it because I never used it in the first place.
Didn't use it. I mean, the only thing I use is X, guys. I don't even use Facebook or Instagram. You're the one who goes on our Instagram.
Yeah, you know what? I should just delete Facebook ones because I have not even looked at our Facebook page in months. So, I mean, I think we have like 70 people who follow our Facebook page.
Just delete it.
No offense if anybody's watching who goes on our Facebook page. I don't even remember the last thing I posted on there. It might have been when I said we were going live daily, which was months ago. Like, I mean, I'm really bad. And then because I have to manage multiple socials, it's like I just can't.
Yeah.
And on Instagram, I post a story about our show. Maybe share a thing here or two on the stories, but that's about it.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is.
Good to see you, Cloudy.
But yeah, good to see you.
I was on my NES and then SNES. Okay, the Nintendo. Yeah, so
NES and SNES.
Yeah, NES and SNES.
I know.
Yeah, the first games console that I got was a Super Nintendo. When I was like 4 or 5. That's the best console ever made, in my opinion.
Which one?
The Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Super Nintendo.
And PS1. Woo! I had a PS1. I used to love playing Spyro on there.
So I was on my NES and then SNES, then PS1. Didn't have a phone till 15 or 16 years old. Didn't have no internet though. It was a pay and go on Orange. Yeah, same, Cloudy. I had a pay-as-you-go phone as well. And when my credit ran out, if I was texting girls, I used to get really annoyed.
I was gonna say you told me that exact story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else we got?
What does the film say about social? Well, we kind of answered that.
It says a lot about
just
social media,
the negative impacts about it for sure. And like we said, how those teens said that they wouldn't let their children
use it.
Oops. Self-soothing for kids to be on social media. Plus, dopamine hits for sure.
Dopamine hits for sure.
How many likes can I get? What if I post like this? Can I get more likes? Well, they kind of did touch on that as well. Like when teenagers are seeing like more provocative posts, like because it kind of comes up on their algorithm. So like let's say like a half naked girl or guy, whatever, they can see that they have so many more likes and stuff like that. So it almost encourages these young teenagers to be posting more provocatively, because then they'll get more likes and more followers and things like that. So it's like it even shows like that negative impact, which, you know, most of us kind of already understand that when the sex sells, right? That's that slogan that's been going on for decades, like sex sells, sex sells. So does it really surprise you that, you know, if you're posting like a semi-nude photo, you're going to get way more likes and followers and attention?
Yeah, I mean the fact that slogan, that saying just even exists in the first place, sex sells, you know, the fact that that's even a thing is the problem here. You know, we shouldn't even be, you know, trying to sell something based on, you know, how sexual something is. And that statement you just said there pretty much sums this all up for me. It really does.
Which, I mean, even you've said it to me, because like if we're
I've
watching like not in like a rude way, just like if we're watching a movie or a TV show, like whatever, and like there's just like there's nothing to the imagination. Like you just see everything, especially on a woman, like not so much a man. Like you don't generally see penises on camera. I think it's pretty rare. But anyway, you'll see just like the whole woman like naked riding a man, and like just like so graphic. I'm just like, I feel like I'm like watching porn.
And this isn't porn,
you know?
by the way, guys.
But I feel like I'm watching porn.
We're not sat on the sofa with like actual porn on the TV.
Ew.
This is like movies and TV shows.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
no, it's just in case someone in the chat got like confused that we're watching porn after the show.
No, regular films. And I'm just like, you know, what happened to like a little bit of mystery? Or like if you have a sex scene, it's like we know what they're doing. You don't actually need to show every detail. I don't know. I feel like it takes away a little bit from the story.
Yeah.
But, you know, sex sells. But it's like, I just think that it would do just as well, in my opinion, if you didn't completely see it and the like scene wasn't overly stretched out. Like, I don't know. I don't need to feel like I'm watching porn. Like, I just want, you know, I can get it when things are getting hot and heavy, but like, I don't know. I just think like it's unnecessary, but they have to put it in there.
If it adds to the story, fine. But
but do you need to see like a girl fully naked riding a guy, and like it's like a long scene? I don't know.
It's like a gray area. It's like a gray area.
Yeah, maybe I'm just a prude or something. I just think like, you know, let it be tasteful. Like, do you really need to see it in that much detail? To me, no. But I mean, I'm probably the minority, I guess. Everyone's like, yes, bring it on.
I don't think you are.
But I just don't. I don't know.
I think a lot of people would agree with you.
Like, it's fine if you see like a boob or something, but it's just like when you're just like going on and on, it's like, come on. Like, we get it. We know what's coming. Like, we know what's going on. Like, you don't, it is acting. So it's like, you don't need, well, I guess porn is acting technically, but
to me, because
do you know what I mean?
To me, because I've seen it so many times in movies, it doesn't even faze me now. It's just part of the movie.
Yeah, but that's like the problem.
Yeah, but
you know?
Yeah, but you know, but I'm just talking about my personal viewpoint.
Yeah, and I don't mean you personally. I'm just saying that generally is the problem. I mean, they're conditioning people like that.
I obviously don't agree with it all the time, because sometimes it's thrown into movies and TV shows when there's no need for it to be there. But I don't. It doesn't really make me uncomfortable as such, because I've seen it so many times now. You know, but
yeah,
it's just kind of part of the movie and TV industry and the music industry. You know, and that's obviously the problem here, that it's been so indoctrinated into our societies now that, you know, it is just normal to see it on TV and movies and stuff. So no, you are right for sure. Anyway, we've got a little super chat in.
We do, and then I'm going to answer Sephora's question.
Okay, we'll come back to you, Sephora. Apologies,
because we do want to answer that.
Yes,
that's good. Thank you, SS, for the $2 donation. Pierre bullied Castro's boy in the House of Commons.
He did.
Yeah, you know what? I saw I thought I saw a comment come in, actually. Oh yeah, Rosie. Did you see JT's after question period today? He was all fired up about trans issues.
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen that.
we did see it.
The aftermath.
Not the aftermath.
The aftermath of Pierre's announcement.
Well, yeah, because that's when he was talking about, Pierre wants to make Canada great again.
Okay, yeah,
and
yeah.
That's not, and then he said that's not what Canadians want, and it's like, of
ridiculous.
course, Canadians want Canada.
No, we
to
want
be great.
Canada to be shit.
Of course, Canadians want their country to be great again. Like
mental.
It's a no-brainer.
Mental.
I mean, we've talked about that before on the show, but there's nothing wrong with wanting to make your country great again.
Nothing wrong at all.
There's literally nothing wrong with it.
I think there's something worse if you don't want your country to be great.
Yeah,
again.
let's have a crap place to live. Yeah, let's have a crap place to live, guys.
Like it's very strange. Rosie will take a look at the tag after the show for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, SS.
Yeah, we appreciate the donation. Thank you so much, SS. Sephora, we're talking about Nicholas Sepeda. We've done a show. Well, we've done like probably 3 shows about him now. So we actually went to one of the centers where he was swimming. So this man who's in his 50s, I think he's 50 or 51, he identifies as a 13-year-old girl just to swim with them. This is a swimming competition. And he swims with these teenage girls as young as 13, basically between 13 and 17 years old. And he swims with their like high school team or school team. And he's also been like, it's confirmed that he's gone into change rooms, changed with these girls, showered, and he's got his whole male genitalia like intact. And the worst part is that he's actually a York University assistant professor for child psychology. So York University is one of the main universities in Ontario. Supposed to be a good university. Clearly it's not, if that's who they're hiring. But anyway, so this man will come in and identify as a 13-year-old girl. So we went to one of the Toronto centers where he was swimming, and we actually got footage of it. I'll tag you in that after the show. We have posted about it before. We took some of our own like secret footage. The advantage of not being that well known is no one knows
who the hell you are.
No one knows who you are, and we can film it. But I mean, it was nothing inappropriate. It was, just some footage basically. And, this person has been, police have been called on this man several times. And it's like, because he's identifying as a girl, it's like he's protected. Meanwhile, it's against the law to expose yourself to minors. And that's exactly what he's doing. And, it's been reported on Rebel News. Shout out to David Menzies, who does incredible reporting as well, and has called this out several times, has gone to several of these locations. And instead of, he's telling security and like staff what's going on. And instead of being outraged at that, they're outraged at the fact that David Menzies is trying to film and get, the story out. Yeah. Meanwhile, that's not what the sinister behavior is. It's the fact that there's a man trying to do this to young girls, and it's definitely because he's perverted. Like this guy, first of all, can't even swim. But anyway, so yeah, go check that out. It's Nicholas Sepeda. We have a couple of videos.
Yeah, we've talked about him to death on the show support, but we'll do a little post after the show and tag you in it, so you can get familiar with Sepeda, as we like to call him.
Yeah, his name's Sepeda, but we call him Sepeda.
We call him Sepeda on this show.
The name fits.
Yeah.
There was a guy like that at our pool. If he was allowed to wear a dress and come into the change room, no young girl would be safe. Oh, that's disgusting.
It's just crazy how these people, these perverts, I'm going to call them, are allowed to go into changing rooms, expose their junk to kids, and the people who are trying to stop it and expose them, those are the people who are in the wrong.
Yeah.
With Sepeda, when we went there was security, and he literally got like a police and security escort in and out of the building. Mm-hmm. He was that protected that he got snuck in and out of the building by police and security to avoid people like us and other people who were there, and also the media who were trying to get in there to expose this. They weren't allowed in there, you know. But this pervert is allowed to be snuck in and out of the building, identify as a 13-year-old girl, swim with them, change with them, and then revert back to being a 50-year-old pervert, be you know, taken in and out of the building by security, and then back to his cushy job at York University. Can you believe this?
Yeah.
But this is the world we're living in, guys. Apparently, what I've just said is what I've said is hateful there. But you know, it's completely wrong, guys. You cannot say that that's wrong. Apparently, you know, that's supposed to be allowed to happen. But yet these kids who are being subjected to this, you know, they're the real victims here.
Yeah.
Not Sepeda, you know. But anyway,
Yeah.
let's not talk about Sepeda now, because we've talked about him so many times.
For sure.
And he does really annoy me. So
yeah,
let's not talk about him. But anyway, we're coming up to the hour, guys. So we'll leave the review there for now. But what we'll do,
Nat did say, hold on,
Okay.
I'll highlight this just because it's an event going on. Coming in the next 2 weeks, campaign to Swim Ontario, Swim Canada, and the Otter sponsors. For sure. We'll keep us updated, Nat, and we'll be happy to share stuff out.
Absolutely.
And support any way that we can.
And it is a BS world, Cloudy, for sure, in the chat there, mate. It's just crazy how these people are so protected, but yet they complain about having no rights. It's like they've got more rights than anyone.
They really do.
They're so protected and propped up in society as these untouchable, angelic beings for some bizarre reason. And they've
mental.
And they get, you know, police escorts in and out of buildings, and it's just insane. It's just absolutely insane how it's got to this point.
The special treatment.
Yeah, but we'll probably talk about Sepeda again. We talk about him a lot. But anyway, let's bring up our show, because we do have some big guests coming up for you guys.
We have a big guest tomorrow.
Over the next few days. Oops. So we'll bring up our show and then we'll leave it there for today, guys. Thanks very much for tuning in. So let's have a look at our channel. So tomorrow night, we've got Taylor Silverman coming on the show, who we really can't wait to speak to. We've been trying to get her on the show for a few weeks now, and she's going to come on the show tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
So she was the pro skateboarder who was involved with all this trans stuff a couple of years ago, and she was actually, you know, some prize money which, you know, should have been awarded to her went to this trans person instead, because obviously they won the competition. It's a biological man. Just call it a man. So she's going to come on tomorrow. And then we do have some other guests lined up too, but we haven't 100% confirmed. But next Tuesday, we have Billboard Chris coming on the show.
Billboard Chris.
Billboard Bloody Chris is coming on the show. Can't wait to speak to him.
Honestly, like, couldn't believe within like 5 minutes of us messaging him, he was like, I'd love to. Let me know what day next week. And we're like, it's mind blowing. Like, we love and support so much what he's doing. And he's been doing it for a couple of years now, just advocating so hard that children, you know, should not consent to puberty blockers. It's such a thing that you would think is common sense, and it's not. And, you know, he really advocates to protect children's rights. So, like, we're so excited to talk to him next Tuesday.
We're big fans of him, and
he is amazing.
We're big fans of him, what he's doing, and we've been following him for a very long time. We pretty much watch his stuff every single day, especially the stuff he does with James Klug. Shout out to James Klug.
Shout out to James Klug if you ever see this. Yeah,
you know, they do great stuff when they go around all these college campuses and stuff, speaking to students and getting their reaction to this. So we can't wait to speak to him on Tuesday. Make sure you're there for that, guys. It's going to be a great one.
This is going to be a huge show.
Yeah,
huge
for sure. So yeah, we'll leave things there, guys, for now. But thanks for joining us today. Hope you enjoyed the review. You know, we do want you to go see this movie, so we didn't really want to talk about in detail too much, but we will link it in the description for you guys.
Yeah,
Billboard Chris,
awesome.
He is awesome.
Yeah, you guys definitely don't want to miss next Tuesday. We also have a guest confirmed next Thursday, but we need to make the thumbnail for that. We're waiting on images and stuff. And yeah, we got to keep booking more and more guests.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
we don't just want you guys to see our faces the whole time. We want to bring you guests, because I'm sure you're bored of our faces at times. So, you know, we want to.
Well, I've changed my hair, so hopefully you guys just feel like there's somebody new on this channel.
Feels like a new woman. It really does.
I still feel really weird when I'm looking at myself, but anyway, it's fine.
But
yeah, so you know, like we tell you guys, like, we do a lot behind the scenes, and we are trying to, you know, give you the best information, give you the best guests, most informative guests. And yeah, hopefully you like the direction of the show, because we're really enjoying it. You know, we're really passionate about this stuff, and you know, we work really hard. So hopefully you guys do appreciate it and do keep coming back.
Absolutely.
Set notifications for these upcoming shows because it's huge. You know, Taylor, she did an event in June, and she actually met April Hutchinson and Riley Gaines to support and advocate for women's sports. So that's huge as well. Like, we're really excited to talk to Taylor tomorrow. We're actually thinking of doing a double episode tomorrow.
Maybe.
Because we do know that Tucker Carlson and Putin interview is dropping tomorrow. So we might do a double feature where we do that first and then Taylor after.
But I kind of want to watch the interview without being live, so I can clip stuff up and whatever. So,
I know, it's true.
Yeah.
So we'll see what we're gonna do. But you know, make sure you guys follow us on X, because we will keep you guys posted if we do decide to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Like I said, make sure to follow us.
Yeah, like, share, subscribe. If you're brand new to the channel, guys, and you know, if you like the conversations we have, you know, subscribe to the channel. Like we always say, we go live 8 p.m. Eastern every single night. A little bit later tonight, because as you can see, this one's had a hair done. So
yeah,
you know, we had to go a bit later tonight. But you know, appreciate you all tuning in as usual, and everyone who watches the replay.
And you can support the show by becoming a YouTube or Patreon member. Excuse me. Or you can also donate on buymeacoffee.com. All the links are in the description, and of course the bio of our homepage on X and on YouTube. We do really appreciate our YouTube members and Patreon members for supporting the show, and anyone who does donate. It does mean a lot to us. Like we said, we go live daily and we spend hours researching and watching videos, and all the boring things that you don't see on camera go a lot behind the scenes. So hopefully you guys do appreciate it, and we will see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow night, guys. Take it easy.
Take it easy.